The violence in Venezuela is escalating as security forces move in on protesters in Caracas. Venezuela's interior minister says 243 people were arrested in a crackdown today. Demonstrators have camped out for months in the capital, calling for the resignation of President Nicolas Maduro. As for the government, it's accusing the camps of being havens for, quote, terrorist acts. Venezuelans in South Florida, meantime, refuse to just watch and wait to see how this whole situation unfolds. And that's why a large group in support of Venezuela's opposition is making a trip for freedom to Capitol Hill. Local 10 News reporter Carlos Suarez got on the bus with them. He joins us live now, right there from the road.
Lori, it's been an extremely long day for everyone on board these three buses. We've been on the road now for more than 14 hours, and tonight we're just outside of Charleston, South Carolina. But you remember that group I brought you at 5 and 6 o'clock? They were cheering and singing. Well, a lot of them have called it a night ahead of what should be a very busy day tomorrow.
Están trayendo el otro autobús, no se están quedando.
The question that was asked of everyone was a difficult one. Who in this group would volunteer to stay behind after one of the three buses broke down for a second time on the trip? Amid the groans, a few hands went up. For them, the purpose of this trip made the decision to stay behind an easy one to make.
If I had to sacrifice for that because I can stay here waiting for the next bus, I'll do it. I don't have any problem with that.
The hiccup marked an otherwise upbeat first day on the road with more than 150 people crossing Florida and parts of Georgia on their way to Washington, D.C. The trip for freedom brought together Venezuelan exiles from South Florida, Tampa, and Orlando.
I have all my family over there, so it's so much difficult for me trying to fight for freedom from the outside.
The cheering and singing will give way to a serious debate with lawmakers on Capitol Hill on Friday. It's there where this group will lobby for sanctions against the Venezuelan government, a move State Department officials expressed concern over during a hearing on Thursday.
What I have heard here today in response is, we don't want to sanction these people because it might unite them against us. Let me give you a brief bulletin. They are already united against us.
The violence in Venezuela has left at least 41 people dead and hundreds others missing. Thousands have been arrested, and the evidence of torture by the government is growing, as is the impatience of a few in this crowd who say the U.S. has done little to stop the conflict.
Venezuela is dying, drop by drop.
It's unclear tonight whether the group that stayed behind will wait for another bus to pick them up or if they're going to plan on heading to a nearby airport in hopes of trying to get a flight to Washington, D.C. tomorrow morning. Now, on local10.com, we've got an entire slideshow set up, basically a behind-the-scenes look at all of the work that we're doing, and we're also having a Twitter conversation with everyone on board the three buses, so you definitely want to check that out. But for now, we're live just outside Charleston, South Carolina. I'm Carlos Suarez, Local 10 News.